We've got to talk about Liverpool Football Club as they have gone bargain hunting again, and this time they have returned with an absolute steal in Federico Chiesa. A shock deal for 13 million euros, which honestly I think is a superb piece of business. And we're going to talk about why in today's video. But before we do, obviously we've got to address a few concerns. He's got a problematic injury record, and there are some glaring issues in that Liverpool team that still have not been addressed, which a lot of Liverpool fans seem to be outraged by. And I get it. I really do get it. I think the biggest drawback of this deal and the biggest negative as far as I'm concerned is that it's not a CDM. And Liverpool need a CDM. They also need a left back, arguably, because whilst there's no doubting Andy Robertson's contributions to that great Klopp team that won the title and just being a solid out-and-out fullback, he can't invert the way Arne Slot wants him to, and will probably not be a good fit for the system long term as far as being a technically proficient fullback who can play through the middle when Liverpool have possession, right? And so there's a lot of issues in that team that need to be addressed that currently are not being addressed by the signing of Chiesa. We've also got to talk about his injury record, right? Because that is an issue and it is a glaring problem. If you look on this table here, this is from Transfer Market. Supposedly he's missed, I believe, 15 games due to injury in the last season alone. And that's excluding the previous couple of seasons before that. The previous couple of seasons before the last one that just passed, he only played about 850 minutes across both seasons, right? So the one season he played 844 minutes, I believe it was. And then the season before that, which would have been 21-22, I believe he only played about 830 minutes or something like that. So he's not even breaking the 1,000-minute barrier in terms of the amount of minutes he's spending on the pitch. Last season was probably his best season in a while in terms of staying fit, and he still missed over 15 games. He, I think, had about 2,300 or 2,200 minutes played, which is a lot for Chiesa, but it's not a lot in general. And so he has this problematic injury record, which is something that Liverpool fans are going to have to bear in mind. But what I would say to caveat it, and why I think this is a great piece of business to counter-argue that point, is two things. One, he's got an extremely low transfer fee and he won't be on ridiculously high wages. So if his injuries do prevent him from being a regular contributor for Liverpool, then Liverpool can move him on anyways. Even if they make a loss from this transfer and they don't get much resale value, they haven't spent a lot on him in the first place, so it's not that big of a deal. So if Chiesa flops and it's partially because of injuries, it's not a big deal at the end of the day as far as I'm concerned. And I wouldn't be panicking if I was a Liverpool fan. But second of all, and more importantly, he's not going to be a starter anyways. Liverpool are not signing Chiesa to be an out-and-out starter and to be a guaranteed starter in the first team. This is not their marquee signing of the summer. At least I would hope it's not. I mean, as a United fan, if this is your only signing or your marquee signing, it would be kind of hilarious. But I don't think that's the case. And taking off my Man United hat for a second and just being serious and not trying to banter Liverpool, I don't think that this guy is coming in to start every week. I think he's coming in to provide depth, and therefore his injuries aren't really a massive concern because I think you guys will be able to manage him through the injuries, right? If he still misses about, 14, 15 games throughout the season, were those games that he was going to start anyways? I'm not too sure. Honestly, I think also when you factor in just how good Chiesa is, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, when you're paying 13 million euros for a player of this ilk and this quality, him missing that many games, I don't think is that big of an issue because you're not spending that much money on him anyways. What you're investing versus what you're getting out could actually be worth it in the end, in my honest opinion. I mean, Chiesa is still, despite not being in the best of form, still a very quality player. In terms of progressive carries, he's in the 97th percentile across the top 5 leagues in Europe by comparison with players in those forward 3 positions because he can play anywhere pretty much across the front 3 and technically can play as a 10 as well, even though that's not his specialist position. You've then got his passes into the penalty area and crosses into the penalty area by comparison with players who play in his position. He's in the high 95th to 97th percentile for both of those respectively. When you look at all the key metrics involved in measuring how productive a player is in the final third, Chiesa seems to tick a lot of the boxes, so I don't think there should be any doubt about his ability or his quality as a player. Yes, you can question his form, you can question his injuries, but honestly, as far as his ability and talent is concerned, he definitely does tick a lot of the boxes. It then becomes about whether or not he is capable of adapting to the Premier League, and I think therein lies the problem with Chiesa, or the potential. I won't even call it a red flag. I think I'll call it a yellow flag, right? That's the only aspect of this deal where I would look at it as a Liverpool fan and think to myself, not too sure, right? Is will he be able to adapt to the Premier League? Will he be able to come into a volatile, uncertain, transitional Liverpool team and deliver, right? Can he fight for his place? Can he cause a disruption? And can he elevate the quality of Liverpool's attack? Only time will tell. But again, even if he doesn't, is it that big of a deal? Because for 13 million euros, if Chiesa does flop and if he doesn't actually become a good signing, whether it's because of injuries or just because he's in poor form and just doesn't acclimatize to the league and the quality of the league, the tempo of the league, the pace of the league, if that is the case, nobody's really going to come back and clown Liverpool fans for a deal like this, because it's not like you guys have broke the bank for him, right? There shouldn't be that high of an expectation on this player because it is only 13 million euros. But anyways, I am done waffling about why I think Chiesa is a good deal for Liverpool Football Club. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Perhaps you have some contrasting opinions and perhaps you think this is actually a really bad deal. I would appreciate your feedback. Keep it respectful, of course, in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Leave a like if you want to support the channel. And as usual, enjoy the rest of your day. It's been your boy Triple M. Peace!